This perp back with another video, and I just got done watching episode 5 season 3 of Snowfall. And what I want you guys to do is hit that like button, hit that subscribe button if you're new, and stay tuned, man, for weekly Snowfall episode reviews. I'm trying something different with these reviews. Let me know if you like them. Hit that like button if you like this style. I went with kind of like a comic book-esque type of style, but with all that being said, let's get right into this review, because this was a really good episode. It opens up with Teddy and Julie just chilling, and then something catches Teddy's eye, and he looks at the television and he sees Andre, and he sees that there were a bunch of raids, and that's kind of alarming to Teddy. So he has to kind of get to the bottom of this and try to figure this out and try to resolve this before it blows up in his face. Really interesting stuff. I liked how this started. And so speaking of Andre, we get a scene of him and his other cop friend, associates, you could say, celebrating him making this bust. And then his partner bumps into this black chick, this black woman, very beautiful, by the way. And I don't blame Andre, because this girl looks stunning, very easy to fall for. And Andre falls for the pussy hook, line, and sinker. Like, this shit was really funny, but kind of sad at the same time, but you couldn't help but laugh, man. He's been catching L's all pretty much all season so far. He goes back to this hotel, and you kind of find out that this was all Louie's doing. And I love Louie for this, man. She's always on top of things. Without her, Franklin wouldn't know what to really do, man. This was really funny. And so Andre's badge and his gun is missing, and Franklin is really in an interesting spot, because he gives me these sociopath vibes. Like, he doesn't really care or respect Andre, and doing this, stealing his badge and his gun, that shit is really ballsy on Franklin's part, and kind of worrisome for like Jerome and Louie, but I'll get to that a little bit later. So Franklin goes to meet up with Teddy to discuss like what's been going on, and Teddy's letting him know, like, this Andre guy's trying to reopen up your case and get you locked back up and shut your shit down. You got to get control of him. And Franklin's like, you got to trust me. And they go about their ways. And, Franklin is getting very cocky, but also very paranoid. And I'll touch on that later on in this video also. So I really like this scene where they're mapping out the different territories and where they can move the product. And they mention Inglewood, and they don't have a connect to Inglewood besides Man-Boy. So this is where Man-Boy comes into play. And it's funny that Leon kept this from Franklin. And, throughout this whole episode, Leon's kind of iffy about certain characters. And, we got Jerome kind of wanted to talk to Franklin. Franklin's kind of just on the move and on the go. That's something also I want to talk about later on in this review. So, going back to Andre, he's getting his blood tested for whatever was in the system, and his higher ups are kind of pretty much laughing at him, and he's really going through this whole thing with Franklin is really like affecting his work life and his life at home with his daughter, with Mel. And Mel's kind of feeling disconnected from her father, and it just seems like things are getting worse before they get better, for Andre, and he kind of takes it a certain way. But I'll also get back to that. So back with Franklin and his mother, they're trying to deal with this financial this property that they're trying to lock down, and come to find out it's this old dude that, you know, Franklin's mom used to work for, and, you know, he kind of tries to disrespect him, and, you know, you could tell in the scene that Franklin wanted to just jump over the table and just beat the shit out of him. Meanwhile, we got Andre getting pretty much suspended, and, you know, kind of feeling enraged. He kind of takes this out on Mel and tells her, like, you gotta get the fuck up out of here. You're going to your aunt's. I think it was his aunt's, but, you know, that leads to something else. I'll get to that in a moment. But then we hop over to Leon, Fatback, and Manboy. They go to visit this dude named Scully. And if you don't recognize this actor, he's been in a lot of John Singleton movies and whatnot, and a lot of hood movies. But, you know, Manboy warns Leon, like, yo, this dude is crazy, so don't be, you know, check your temper and don't be trying to wild out. And I definitely wouldn't fuck with this dude. And it seems like Leon really didn't want to do business with this guy, and, you know, Franklin doesn't really care. He just wants to make that money and expand. Back at his house, he also makes mention when they're sitting around that table that he has to go home, and two white dudes, whatever, approach his house. I guess the one guy that used to work for Franklin's mom sent them, and that kind of backfires him, and he walks into his office with them pretty much dead. Now, going over to Julie. Now, this was kind of like a curveball, because I didn't know she was kind of working against Teddy, and, you know, it seems like she's kind of regretting it, but it's going to be interesting to see where they take that going forward. Especially Teddy, you know, stuff like the first couple episodes I wasn't feeling with Teddy's storyline, but it's starting to ramp up. You know, he's starting to get into more drugs, and he goes to meet with the new cocaine connect, and he's kind of off his rocker too. But those two's relationship is going to be very interesting, and I wonder if, you know, that's going to end up backfiring on Teddy. But anyways, we get this scene, this nightmare scene of Franklin, and we saw this in the previews, that he sees Andre pretty much shooting him, and he wakes up from this, and his mom sees this, and you see how this lifestyle is really affecting everyone around him, and it's kind of like he's starting to listen to what Andre was saying to him in the car, like, this is going to affect everybody that you love, and, you know, until you're all by yourself. And Franklin's pretty nonchalant about it, but it's business as usual, and he just goes about his way. Damn, man. Mel, man. I feel really bad for Mel. You know, she got her ass whooped by Sean, and Sean looked really good, man. I'm starting to fall in love with her. But, you know, you got Andre going over the deep end since he's suspended, but he gives, you know, the other officers, well, one of the officers, to go to, you know, do whatever you can to take him down, bury him, you know, until I can get off this, because he can't really do nothing. So it's going to be interesting. I wonder what's going to happen with Mel. Is her face going to be really fucked up? Did she get jumped? Did she get jumped, or did she just get fucked up by one person? Who knows? But, you know, that's my review of episode 5. What do you guys think about this episode? What do you guys think about the new style that I'm using? Are you guys rocking with it? I felt like I kind of needed to update it a little bit last minute, but I kind of like it. What do you guys think? Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button if you're new, and I'll check y'all out in the next video. Peace.
when I was young, I thought that success was all I needed. That's what was gonna bring the happiness. Buying my mom a house, being the fame, the accolades, having people say, yo, you are the best in the game. I thought those would be the things that would bring happiness. And then when those things came, the happiness wasn't there. And I realized why that was. There was such an attempt to achieve these things and to keep going that you lose sight of the people and the blessings that you have around.